But yeah. So we can move on to the recaps here. If we could keep it a little quicker, that'd be fantastic. Just any big things you guys want to talk about with these slates of games. Um, the floor is yours. I've
Um,
talked a lot.
no, I mean, exactly what happened with, or exactly what I said is going to happen with the Saints is happening. They're gonna continue to win games, ruin draft stock, probably pick like 14th or 15th in the draft.
Yeah,
And
he said that.
they won't win anything this year because obviously they're not making playoffs. Peter Rizzi will probably do such a good job in ruining our draft pick that they'll say, fuck it, let's bring you back next year, which means we'll miss out on Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson. And I'll just have to continue to be a Saints fan, destined for mediocrity because Mickey Loomis is our GM. But outside of that, um,
We're
Joe
back,
Burrow,
baby, right?
yeah, Dolphins are back. The Bengals are something special. Like, I think they probably might be the most miserable fans right now because it's just like, how do you keep fucking losing? Um, Other than that, the Chiefs. Oh yeah, probably the best thing to happen this week is the Chiefs lost. Daymaker. For once
Yeah,
they
pop
don't
the
get.
champagne.
Yeah, for once they don't get every single call to go their way, and look what happens. They lose. It's crazy. Um, yeah, we all were right about the Steelers. So fuck Baltimore.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm happy that I picked the Chargers because if I picked the Chargers in a game where I said I would regret picking the Bengals and then the Bengals go on to win, I would have just been like, I would actively avoid picking Bengals games.
Ooh, the ending of the game was so ugly. Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
neither team wanted to win. J.K. Dobbins
My
stopped the Chargers.
God.
Have you seen the meme where it's the Chargers and it's like the Chargers are trying to charge her, like they're trying to charge, and
Jeez, bro.
it's just
But like,
Uh-oh. Boys.
Evan McPherson, something
yeah,
TC.
also that, like the Bengals put themselves in a situation to win that game.
Right.
And it didn't happen. Well, are you guys worried for the Chargers heading into the playoffs? Because I don't think that game should have been that close, like at all.
Are we worried for the Chargers going into the playoffs when neither of us had the Chargers as a playoff team going into this year? No, not really. I mean, they're still overperforming expectations, so nothing
No,
but positive things to say
I mean,
about LA.
yeah, but I like the style of ball they're playing, but I don't think they should have let that game come close, like ever. Are you calling me an old fuck?
I said probably not. Put your think or listening ears on,
Your
dickhead.
thinking cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Remember,
whatever he
God
said.
made us with 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen more and talk less. You guys remember
Yeah,
that
ready to be a
as a
grandpa.
child? Yeah.
God.
I've never heard that.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, no, I never heard that. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. Look,
Ready to be
I
a
think
grandpa.
with another win for the Chargers on Monday night against Baltimore this week, I think Herbert enters the MVP conversation. I think he should. I think he's been absolutely fantastic, playing fantastic football this year, and honestly, it's gone really unrecognized through a lot of it too, which is unfortunate because you should be able to recognize greatness when it's in front of you. You know, that's kind of the thing that I've accepted with even having a Mahomes hate boner over the last couple seasons. You know, recognizing the greatness when it's there. Although he, hasn't been very great this year. But yeah,
Right.
how do you guys feel about
Fuck
that?
Mahomes.
We hear you. You like Mahomes. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
Herbert's definitely like just on the outskirts of that MVP conversation. He's been playing really well, really high quality football, so I don't disagree there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about these games. You know, it's nice that the Chiefs finally lost, although they probably should have earlier in the year a few times, but neither here nor there. Teams escape all the time. Yeah, happy about
Yeah.
the being right about the Steelers. I feel like the Ravens might sputter a little bit down the stretch here because of how inconsistent that defense is and how much they really need to be healthy on that unit and how much they haven't been. So that's definitely been a problem for them. You know, Lamar can't play like an MVP every game. He needs to be able to play pedestrian and they can still win, you know. And that just
That is
wasn't the
true, yeah.
case. So that's a tough one. Nothing else for these AFC games. Uh, Titans kind of got robbed in this game, you know, bad officiating, but again, you only scored 13 points. You got to buckle down. So tough one for them, but
That
still.
touchdown at like the 5-yard line was crazy.
The on the 4th and goal, the penalty, or which one are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about talking about the one where they were in their like basically throwing from their own end zone, and Will Levis just hit someone on a
Oh
deep
yes,
route.
yeah, Nick Westbrook-Akine, yeah, the 98-yarder, I think it was 98.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, the
Yeah.
Darnold and Jefferson connect on a 99-yarder earlier in the year, then they give up a 98-yarder in this one. I'm glad I got the Saints pick right
Good old
again.
Vikings.
This just felt like a Saints win all over it to me. I don't know why people keep picking the Browns in these past few weeks. They're a bad football team, and
There's no reason to pick. Yeah, we said it during the
yeah,
pick'ems. There's just no reason to pick this team right now.
Well,
and Jameis Winston might be more
and it makes it even
explosive.
funnier that the Ravens.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
It's really funny that the Ravens. The
It feels
Ravens
like it was
two
telegraphed.
or I think it's just funny that the Ravens fucking lost to both the Raiders and the Browns, of all teams to lose to.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, this Browns team is bad, dude.
yeah. And look, like I understand preferring Jameis over Watson, obviously, but and Jameis can be explosive, you know, can create explosive plays, but he's also more volatile in general than Watson. So, you know, the greater the swings are one way, the greater the swings are going to be the other way too. And you know, not necessarily that he was like super awful in this game or anything, but I mean, the Saints are just clearly the better team right now. So
that's a thing to say.
yeah,
What a thing to say. The Saints are clearly the better team.
yep.
Dude, I can't fucking stand the Saints. We're gonna ruin everything. This offseason's gonna suck.
Yeah, it really might. Especially now that you're winning and you're ruining your draft stock.
It's just insufferable.
Yeah. But hey, maybe Darren Rizzi's your new head coach of the future.
I was always a Rizzy guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate that. I'm still gonna hate that.
Shut up. It's Rizzy
I
time.
want someone who's fucking proven, dude. I'm not gonna have an Antonio Pierce outcome and waste another goddamn year as a Saints fan.
You want someone proven, but you want Ben Johnson?
I want Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel. Someone, because at least Ben Johnson has been a perennial head coaching candidate. It's not a guy who's like, oh, he had one good year. It's not a fucking Dave Canales or a Brian. Fuck, Carmichael.
Dayball.
Carmichael. No, not Dable. The Titans head coach.
Callahan.
Callahan. Yeah. I
Callahan,
want someone
I don't
who's
know.
been like around. I really want Vrabel, if I'm being honest.
Excuse me.
You want Vrabel?
Yeah.
I thought you said you wanted Ben Johnson over Vrabel.
Plus,
I mean, I would take either or, but I would probably prefer Vrabel with the current state of the team.
really, because you've gone on record several times in the past saying that defensive head coaches can't win Super Bowls unless you're Bill Belichick.
Yep. And I would still probably prefer Vrabel because we need a better culture. I also think that Vrabel is one of the few defensive head coaches that I could actually see winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Well, Dan Campbell isn't necessarily like a fucking defensive centered guy, and I think it's the same way with Vrabel. I think Vrabel's more just like, he's a team guy, and he sets the culture for a win. And so I would see Vrabel in the same light that I would see like a Dan Campbell, where it's a winning culture. You set that standard and you go out and execute.
Sure, I understand what you're saying, but even when they played in the NFL, it was a defensive position, so there is that
Right.
the orientation towards it. But yeah, we'll get to head coach carousel when the time comes on Black Monday at the end of the season. But
Mhm.
you guys were right. I did give too much credit to the Jaguars. They did not score any points in garbage time, and they lost 52-6.
Yeah.
Brutal game. I am really happy I was right on the Broncos in this week, though. It just felt like a Broncos win, and they blew them out. Yeah, very typical Falcons loss on the year, really. Neither side of the ball was in sync with each other.
How's Doug Peterson still head coach?
Like I said last week, it just feels like they're just gonna they have who are they gonna replace him with interim? Like they have nobody that they want.
They're doing what the Saints should have done. They're doing what the Saints should have done, and they're maintaining their draft.
Yeah.
I mean, but come on,
No,
it's what you always say as well, Anthony. It's a whole group of guys. You're just gonna have them there and just sit in the season. I don't know. I think it's kind of fucked.
Yeah. No, I agree, but the other philosophy which I explained was who are you gonna replace him with? There are no better options, and so you could just write it out the rest of the year and then fire everybody because at this point there is no shot that anybody keeps their job on the coaching staff. Really, I would be shocked.
I mean,
I think everybody's
Peterson
going.
is not being fired because there's no one better to replace him with. Then might as well just fire everyone.
Yeah, I mean maybe the special teams coach sticks around. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I have nothing really to comment on with the Eagles, Commanders, or Packers Bears games.
They're a good football team.
Yeah. Bears, they fired Shane
Bears,
Waldron and
yeah.
their offense looked better, so that's nice. The Packers maybe got away with a penalty there on the blocked kick because they jumped over the long snapper, and that's supposed to be not allowed, but NFL officials have let it slide multiple times this year. For what reason, I have no idea. Oh, another thing. I'm not blaming the Niners' loss on the officials, obviously, but they did fuck up, and they came out and apologized the other day or yesterday for fucking up. Apparently, on 4th and 6, we had the ball. It was 4th and 6 at Seattle's 45-yard line or something. And we were going to punt the ball away. Obviously, it's very late in the game. The next drive on offense for the Seahawks is the game winner for them. So it's 4th and 6 at their 45 or whatever. We're going to punt the ball. Seattle called 2 timeouts in a row without a play being run, and the officials accepted both of them. But if that happens, it's supposed to be a 5-yard penalty. You can't call 2 timeouts before one play has been made. So it should have been 4th and 1 at Seattle's 41. And I think, knowing the game's circumstances there, the 49ers would go for it. And they've been really successful on quarterback sneaks this year and with Brock Purdy in general. So there's a good shot that they convert that as well. And they can kneel out the rest of the game, basically, run the clock down. So that's a really tough, brutal one. But again, player execution, you had the lead at the end of the game with 90 seconds left, basically. You need to stop the Seahawks on offense. So I'm not blaming the refs for it. Just wanted to point out, still officiating is terrible in the NFL.
Oh, it's been horrible.
Yeah.
They all need to go back to school.
And since we're talking about officiating, let me tell you, it's been even worse in the NBA. It makes basketball so bad to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It is far worse in the NBA.
Well, it's because fouls are called so favorably for the star players that it's not even fucking enjoyable to watch.
It's not even that. I mean, it is that, but when they call it, it's so soft, so incredibly soft. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me wonder, does it really impact that much for it to be a foul? There's barely a push off. I mean, clearly it is not enough because I see players complaining all the time. So I
Yeah.
mean,
I feel like the NBA's had that
bruh,
problem like a lot
for a
every
while
year.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, a while now. But oh well, oh well.
Oh well, indeed. I guess. You know,
Mm, Not. I
sucks.
mean, this is probably the main reason why I have the NBA lower than the other leagues.
Well, the NBA is just already lower because of sport. But
It's not even the game of basketball. I enjoy
It's
basketball.
the league.
Um,
It's the whole league.
and
The
it,
play-in tournament or the
yeah,
mid-season tournament sucks. They only did it to boost TV ratings when they're trying to compete with the NFL, but they can't compete with the NFL even with the in-season tournament. So that shit sucks. It's stupid. The play-in games at the end to expand the postseason is also really fucking stupid. More than half of your teams make the playoffs every year. That's fucking stupid. What's the point in the
that is
playoff?
exactly what I was gonna get to. That's
The
exactly what I was gonna
officiating
get
has
to.
been a problem for over a decade now. They fucking suck. They give way too much, privilege to the star players and whatnot. If they flop enough, there are just so many problems with the league of the NBA that make it really bad.
Mhm.
A basketball league should work so easily because of how accessible basketball is to most people. You
Yeah,
go to your city park, which has a court, and all you need is a ball. Like that, I mean, it's such an accessible sport. It should be a huge hit, but it's not. You know? Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, the same way you feel how you feel about the Niners recently. It's how I feel about the fucking Heat in similar fashion.
Yeah.
Um, I was telling my dad the other day, like I don't know 5% of what Pat Riley and Coach Spoelstra know about basketball, and I'm being generous with 5%. I know
Mm-hmm.
less than what they know, but there's no possible way in hell that they thought they had enough going to this year. Don't get me started with Ben Adebayo. Do not get me started with Ben Adebayo.
He's your Devondre Campbell.
It's but imagine you've had Devondre Campbell. Now picture this, okay? Yes, yes, okay. But now picture this: Devondre Campbell has been playing that way for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
he's a
nothing's
little
been done
better.
about it.
He's a little better. He's not, horrendous. He gets a game here and there, right? But he's been on your team for 3 years. He gets talked about like a superstar, so he gets paid like one. Okay, and I mean he just got a contract a few years ago. Okay, and then when you talk about him the way you talk about him, you're viewed as a madman. Okay, and then 3 years later, when he's supposed to be the number one option because now Jimmy's getting old, right?
Yeah.
People are starting to realize,
right,
wait, this guy's not really that good. He's falling off. But here's the problem, right? He's not falling off. He's always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been like this. So picture Devondre Campbell being your linebacker two
bro,
for
Bam
3 years.
Adebayo is a top 25 NBA player.
Um, Horror take. And Devondre Campbell is your linebacker too for 3 years now. And because he's playing next to Fred Warner, you think, oh, this guy's pretty good. All right, but now Fred Warner's getting old, and Devondre Campbell needs to step up, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, Devondre Campbell was shit.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, Devondre Campbell was shit. But then you're like, I've been saying Devondre Campbell is shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
you know what this is exactly like?
God.
This is like when I said we should have fired Dennis Allen 2 years ago and we never should have hired him in the first place.
Mhm.
And then we had to keep him around for 3 fucking years. And then we wasted the last 3 years of my life. Yay.
Yeah. Good
It
analogy.
was an actual waste of time. And I felt like everybody should have known that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Such a
Yeah.
horrid fucking hire. You'd already seen him as
And
a head
it
coach.
was so
I don't
evident in the
I
beginning of
will
the year.
never understand how people can have such a bad head coach tenure with one team, go be a coordinator for like a decade and a half, and then that team that he was a coordinator for all of a sudden is like, okay, he's actually a head coach now
You know
because he
what?
was a good DC for a few years.
You know what I
And
think
it's
it really
happened
comes
multiple
down to?
fucking times.
What I think it really comes down to is that the Saints, Carmichael and the rest of the front office had in their heads for years before they acquired Derek Carr that they were going to acquire Derek Carr. And they needed a plan to get Dennis Allen out of town, because you're not just going to be able to get rid of him when he's been a defensive coordinator for you and your defense has been really good. So the way to get him out of town is by promoting him to head coach, bringing Derek Carr in at quarterback, and that way Derek Carr can be the reason that he gets fired a second time as a head coach. Because that's exactly how it went down in Oakland at the time. Allen was the head coach for the Raiders in Carr's
I
rookie
don't think
season.
Derek Carr got him fired though.
No, I obviously not, but it was just for the joke.
Yeah.
Come on, Jacob.
Jesus.
My bad.
You're off your game.
I missed it. I'm not forgiven. I know I'm burning in hell.
Well, I think we can run right through our pick'ems here and call it a day. How about that, huh?
We all picked the
Sounds
Dolphins, yeah? Yeah.
Well, maybe. We'll get to
We'll
it in
get-
just a second.
We'll get there.
First up on here, Thursday Night Football, we've got the Steelers at the Browns. This is being recorded Wednesday night. If I haven't made that clear already, but I've got the Steelers winning by 10 points, 26-16. Don't overthink it, basically.
Yeah. Steelers are gonna win.
Yeah, Steelers winning for sure.
All right. Next up,
we say this for sure, then it's one of those weird fucking games that happen every year, and Browns just blow them out.
and that's something that I said in the Discord, because like there are a lot of like potential trap games this week, but a lot of them are just so like one-sided. You expect them to be so one-sided and there are a lot of them this week. So you're like, one of them is bound to happen. One of these upsets is bound to happen just because of the sheer number of them that are happening this week. But it is impossible to know.
I got a feeling Colts Lions might be.
Maybe, but it's impossible to know which one it's going to be. So it's just safer to pick the favorite in all of them. That's my perspective on it. And so I'll be picking the favorite in all of the really big margin,
But some
games.
dumb shit is gonna happen, is what you're stating.
I'm expecting one of this combination of Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Carolina, New York, Dallas. One of those teams is going to win their game this week. I don't know who, so I'm not picking any of them.
Don't make it the Colts. Cannot be the Colts.
I think it could be the Colts.
No, it cannot be the Colts. No.
Well, next up, the Sunday morning, right? Yeah, Sunday morning for me, Sunday afternoon for Barufi, because he sucks. He has a horrible time zone.
Yeah.
Titans.
Couldn't be more right though.
Titans at Texans, another one that potential trap game. And I think the Titans can play them a little close. Their defense has been playing pretty well, and Will Levis has gotten a couple things figured out. He's limited the turnovers since his return, so still not particularly close game, but not going to be a blowout in any meaningful way that some people are expecting. Titans 13, Texans 24.
I think the Titans are in the same realm as the Browns. Like, to me, there's just no reason to pick them right now.
Yeah. Although they do look better than the Browns. Want to make that clear.
But that's not really saying anything.
No, it's not a high bar. But next up, Miami hosting the Patriots. I think Miami starts to get rolling.
Yeah,
here.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah. Miami's going to get rolling.
Not Drake May?
Yeah, no, I'll avoid the bias here and pick the team that's going to win.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
We're all picking the Broncos.
Yeah. My score prediction real quick.
Raiders.
Just to put in the airwaves. 30-17 is my score prediction for Dolphins Patriots. I've got the Broncos as well. Brufy, you're picking the Raiders?
Picking the Raiders simply because I need the Broncos to lose every single week.
Fair enough. Yeah. I've got the Broncos in an 8-point victory. It'll be closer than the first meeting because, Vegas and I don't know. But maybe it's even worse, even bigger margin because Denver's looking a lot better than they were.
What about Bo Nix, huh?
Yeah, he's legitimately good right now. He's playing really good football.
Yeah.
Borderline Pro Bowl.
It's
Not
it's
honestly.
that thing with it's that thing with the pick with Champagne, right? If you believe in the guy, if you like the guy, you
You
pick him
take
where
him.
you have to pick him.
Yep.
Yeah, you pick him where you have to take
And
him.
apparently they were the only team with the first round grade on him. Now, I didn't have a first round grade on him either, but I mean, yeah, it looks like they hit. So good for them, and good for
Yeah.
Bo.
Yeah.
28-20, Broncos win. Monday Night
Dude,
Football, Chargers hosting
if
the Ravens.
if Bo Nix is playing that good, imagine how good Zach Wilson would be. Yeah.
No.
I also have the Chargers winning this game.
I'm the only one picking the Ravens this week now.
Yeah, my bias is gonna continue to say fuck the Ravens.
No, I think they get back here.
I think they very well can. I think it's a game that they kind of have to get right if they want to keep up in any meaningful way with the Steelers and make that a competitive division. But I'm leaning Chargers right now. They're playing really, really solid defense for the most part. Herbert, I think, is going to continue this MVP campaign, like I mentioned on the Goat House Pick'ems as well. So 20-26 LA victory. Next up, the AFC versus NFC games Sunday morning. Once again, Detroit Lions, I think, are going to, again, shellac the Indianapolis Colts. There could very well be another one of these upset games here, but obviously not picking that or expecting it to happen. Detroit wins 38-16.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the
for
Lions as
here.
well.
Yep.
The other of the two AFC versus NFC games this week is this afternoon. No, it's also morning. Panthers off the bye hosting the Chiefs. I've got the Chiefs winning. Again, another potential trap game alert. Panthers off the bye. Chiefs coming off a loss. So potential upset, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it's the Chiefs. It's the Panthers. Don't complicate it. 30-21.
Yep. You said it. Don't complicate it. Don't overthink it. Go with the Chiefs.
Bryce Young been playing decent football though.
Bryce Young FC. I've been holding the flag.
He's been good since he's come back. Yeah. Now for the exclusively NFC games, the Vikings at the Bears. I'm smelling an upset in this one, so I've got the Bears winning 23-20. The Vikings have been really shaky the last couple of weeks, so you could argue this is like a get right game for them as well. But I think the Bears are going to ride that almost high and that kind of devastating loss last week. But their offense is looking better. Their defense is still a really good unit. So I've got the upset here, 23-20. It's also sloppy soldier.
I'm still going with Minnesota though, simply because I don't have enough of confidence in the Bears to win this game. I still have more confidence in Minnesota
Sure.
to win it, but I can completely see this upset. Well, do you have the line by any chance or no?
I don't.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 game for me, but I think the playoff race is more fun if the Bears win, so I'm going to pick the Bears.
I think it's more interesting too. I think one of the two NFC North teams not named the Lions, I think one of them might collapse. And right now it's looking more likely that the Vikings are because they've been really shaky.
So, damn.
I was going to say the Packers.
Vikings are favored by 3.5.
Yep, 3.5.
Yeah, so 3.5 for the Vikings.
It's not a lot, given the records.
Total points being 39.5 for the points in total.
Yeah, but I wouldn't touch that. I could still see the Vikings winning by like a touchdown, like a last-second score, just to go up a little bit more.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm not saying touch it.
Money line is kind of close, though. Minus 185 for the Vikings, plus 150 for the Bears.
I mean, I would take the Bears money line, obviously, but...
Yeah.
Next up, both teams coming off a bye, the Buccaneers and the Giants. Mike Evans is back for the Bucs. They're a little bit healthier now, and they're just simply the better team. Baker Mayfield is legit. 27-17 is my pick. Tommy DeVito, though.
17 is too many points, I think.
It might be, but Tommy DeVito.
Yep.
Look out for Sterling Shepard have a fucking day against his former team.
That'll be fun.
Good point. Yeah.
Tommy DeVito throwing the rock as well.
On the rock.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
Huh.
And look,
Maybe
hey, and look, I mentioned them as one of these upset teams. You never know.
You did. Does that say 72 points for the Niners?
That's a typo.
Is that a Miami Dolphins perfect season 72 reference? Let's go.
That is hilarious. That's supposed to be 27.
But hey, I'll take the 72.
That's really funny. Yeah, good catch. But before we talk about that one, Washington Commanders playing host to the Dallas Cowboys. They're on a long rest because of the mini bye playing on Thursday night, and I think they needed the mini bye as well. I think this is a good chance for them to get right, a good get right game for them after they've struggled the last 2 weeks, after they've lost the last 2 weeks.
Daniels needs to get healthier as well.
Yeah. So this is a good opportunity for him to get the extra rest. Quite frankly, they could even rest him this game and put Mariota, and I'd probably still have the same score. Because I think they're just going to be really, really efficient running the football.
Yeah.
Just like the Houston Texans were on Monday night. So I've got Washington winning 28-13.
Are the Cowboys in purgatory?
No. Jerry's in hell.
No. Yeah.
Man,
It's
that team
pretty
is just
bad,
so
man.
insufferable to watch. It's so bad to watch. I was watching not too much, but a small amount of tape on Micah in the past few games.
Yeah.
And he has to do every single thing by himself.
Yep.
It is so bad.
And,
so bad.
And it's bad when you're banged up. So you're not even playing that well either. But
He's not playing as well as he can, obviously. But he's still the only one doing anything.
Right.
Really bad. And I mean CeeDee Lamb is also being impacted.
It's very Nick Bosa-esque.
Just doesn't do it. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Division game, and this NFC West this whole race for the NFC West is going to be very interesting down the stretch. I've got a 1-point victory for the Seahawks, though. I think they can ride a little bit of momentum. I think they, on paper, are the better team as well, though obviously the Cardinals are very capable of winning this, especially with their rushing attack and coming off the bye. But I've got a 1-point victory for the Seahawks right now, 24-23.
I think it can be one of those games that Kyler completely takes over.
Sure.
He's had a few of those this year already. It's a really close game to me. Seahawks have been playing a little better than I expected, maybe. I'll still go Arizona. I like what they're doing.
Generally speaking, I think the Seahawks have been worse than expected, and I think they can finally start.
You think so? Maybe I was a little lower on them
based on their roster construction. I thought they were easily a 10-win team this year, but they've been pretty underwhelming.
Agreed.
So I think they can finally get right.
Okay.
And that's kind of my take. They can also, similar to the San Francisco, they can make a bit of a run here at the end and, vie for a playoff spot, if not win the division, because of how wide open it is.
I think I was a little lower on them than because I think I had the Cardinals 3, Seahawks 4th, and Rams 2 or something like that.
Okay.
And I think I remember we had this conversation because I remember you guys saying that I was too high on the Rams.
Yes.
After Aaron Donald retired and whatnot, and I was like 2nd and Cardinals 3, something like that. So regardless, James Conner, Murray, I think Cardinals take this one.
I will say,
I got Cardinals winning this game.
All right. I will say, while we're talking about the NFC West, I do want to pat all three of us on the back for, even if I had the Cardinals last place in the division still, we all had the take that they would be better than people were expecting this year. So we can all pat each other on the back for that one. They're an exciting football team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Still can't trust them, so I got to see it to believe it before
I don't
trust
them either. I don't trust them either, but yeah.
Yep. And then, as I alluded to earlier, I do have the 49ers winning. I have to pick my team. I have to have faith, and I think that this is obviously very winnable. I think if the Packers if Love specifically had been having a better season to this point, I don't think I could reconcile even having faith in the 49ers, and I would just have to pick the Packers. But the fact that Love has been very pedestrian to bad all year really helps the 49ers in this way, and this could be a huge get-right game for them looking ahead to Buffalo.
Very careless. He looks very sluggish at times. This is a game Niners have to dial in a lot of blitzes. I feel like this is a game where they have to switch that around. I'm going with the Niners as well. Probably a little lower scoring than you,
Sure.
but around the same range as well, I think.
Yeah, I got the Packers winning this game and the same score as Anthony has. I just had the Packers with the winning total,
Okay.
27-24.
Yep. Very possible. Final game here. Eagles coming off the mini bye as well, up against the LA Rams, and this is Sunday Night Football. One of my jokes on the Goat House Pick'em video was, barring any LA primetime shenanigans, the Eagles should be able to win this game, and that's what I have here. I'm predicting 28-24 Eagles win. And with the shenanigans, I mean with the Thursday night game a few weeks ago
The
against
Vikings
Minnesota
game.
with the referees. If the refs don't step in and say LA has to win this game, Philadelphia should be able to take the victory. Just lean on Barkley,
This
Agreed.
this is gonna be my underdog pick of the week. Though I'll go with the
Sure.
Rams here.
Okay,
I think they can surprise the Eagles at home.
sure. And
Yeah,
again,
that's fair.
this is the right time for the Rams too to get right. That NFC West is wide open, and as long as you have Stafford, I guess you're going to be competitive in it. So
I mean, they've been winning the last 6 games. I think they only lost to Miami. No, I might be mistaken.
they're 4-1 in
It's
their
something
last
like
5
that.
or 5-1 in their last 6. Yeah, something like that.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been playing decent. I
Rams
think.
playing Rams are playing to their peak right now.
I mean, what about Jared Verse though?
He definitely was offsides.
I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just saying he's him.
He's been
No,
fantastic.
that wasn't fucking Jared Verse. That was Drizon Newton. I'm the tar. I'm special.
Oh, that's what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, Jerjon Newton.
Talking about the
Yeah.
same draft
on the
class.
Commanders.
Talking about the same draft class.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But Jared Verse has been fantastic.
Wrong rookie D lineman.
He was my number 2 edge in the class. Obviously, Latu was my number 1. But he's been fantastic. He really has made him and Fisk and Kobe Turner, like they have a good group of guys in that defensive line. And they're making the Aaron Donald absence not feel like a problem. It's really more the rest of the defense that is the problem at this point. But most probably very likely to win Defensive Rookie of the Year at this point. Maybe Quinyon Mitchell's is really only competition betting wise. Still a long shot to win off the Defensive Player of the Year, but I think it's certainly in the cards if he continues this pace.
While we're talking about the rookies, I have to give some props to Chop because he did not start off so well. In the last 3 weeks or so, he's been absolutely like a
His
monster.
game against the Rams was fantastic.
The last 3 games, he has been a monster.
Yeah.
The last 3 games, he's top 3 in pressures, win rate. That like in the whole league, he's been absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, he's the type of player that when I see him winning against a tackle, I know something good is gonna come off of it because he closes the distance with the quarterback so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I always watch him on practically every single down because I know that's the guy to watch on that line because he is so explosive. But besides him on that D line, Sealer and Calais Campbell have been phenomenal as well. So I think Greer did a phenomenal job this offseason, suppressing the Wilkins absence.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you could argue he made the right decision. Wilkins has been underwhelming in Vegas.
Wilkins is hurt. Yeah, before being hurt, he wasn't being that good. But
Right.
which is quite unfortunate for him. He's never been hurt in his career. So,
Mm-hmm.
but as for Greer, also with the O line, with obviously Robert Hunt, phenomenal player, but we have such a good O line coaching with Butch Berry. Butch Berry is a phenomenal O line offensive line coach. Austin Jackson, who was playing phenomenal ball, got hurt. We put Kendall Lamb at right tackle, and they do a lot of things right on pass protection. Run blocking is not as consistent as pass pro,
Mm-hmm.
but with the explosive players we have in running back, they don't need that many holes to create stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really fortunate with what Greer did this offseason.
Now, I do have a question for you, though.
Yeah, it must be nice having a good GM that can spend money in free agency.
spending money, but being wise about it too. And I mean,
Yeah.
and the Job Robinson pick, because I mean, a
No, I
lot of
said
Dolphins
can spend money.
can.
We
That is
can't. We
true.
don't. We
That
yeah.
is true.
Saints don't have that option.
When the Job Robinson pick came down for Miami, a lot of people were questioning it because of Chubb and Phillips, but Chubb is still not even playing,
Chubb is
and
ass anyway. I'm sorry.
I don't think he's bad at all. But I mean, clearly injury problem, probably not gonna be here next year. And I mean Phillips, brutal injury. I mean, after Achilles and now knee, I don't expect him to be the same player when he recovers. Unfortunately, I'm a
Phillips
big
is a
Phillips guy.
especially sad case because it wasn't just here;
Of
it was
all
his
the
entire college career
yeah,
too. Medically
yeah,
retiring.
yeah,
This is a super
3 times,
talented, like
super
super
talented.
talented, physically gifted player, and he just
Yeah.
can't. He has the worst luck with injuries.
So I don't know what the future holds for him. I hope
Mhm.
he recovers and comes back even stronger. But Job Robinson looks like to be the edge one of the future. I'll say this.
Yeah,
Who else on that defense? Jordan Brooks has been good. We cut David Long. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did. I
That
was
was a bit.
hoping
That was a bit
San
surprising.
Francisco would replace Devondre Campbell
Would
with him.
definitely be an upgrade.
Yeah.
David Long is a dog. Maybe it's a scheme fit. I mean, he wasn't playing that well this year, but I don't know if a cut was necessary. At the very least, it's still good depth. He had a phenomenal year last year. Like, it was really good last year.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, to be fair, Anthony Walker has been good, and we got Tyler Dodson as well
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Seattle.
Well, they just cut as well.
Again, I don't know why they cut him, because leading tackler for them this year. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, it must have been something with the run defense because, I mean, they've been really, really bad against the run this year. And then this week against San Francisco, part of it was the run blocking on San Francisco's part, but they did well stuffing the run. Like, they did not allow many rush yards. In fact, Brock Purdy
Right.
was almost had more rush yards than McCaffrey. Like, it was like 40 something to 70 something. And,
Mm,
Brock had like 6 rushes, yeah. But uh, one last thing before we sign off here that I wanted to
Okay.
just think about. Um, is it just me, or has this season's rookie class been really, really great and a lot better than the rookie season, rookie classes in years prior?
I
Like, I
think
feel
so.
like
See,
so
I
many.
think
Go ahead.
I think there's a lot of very high end talent. I think it's really ironic that the two the two position groups that were very hyped up in this class were quarterback and receiver.
Hmm.
Quarterback is very much meeting and exceeding expectations, whereas receiver is just doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Um, it's been a massively disappointing receiver
Has it?
class.
But for this year, I
I don't
mean,
think so, actually. I would disagree. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. has not taken off the way people have expected, and frankly, he hasn't been very good either. He's had flashes and whatnot. Neighbors has been inconsistent down the stretch, though he started off really well. The injury as well to him.
And then you have
But
BTJ is good, but
but
then Odunze's been
well,
bad.
Odunze hasn't had many opportunities either. But yeah, he's been underwhelming. But yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. has been fantastic this year, like really, really great. Lad McConkey has been really great too.
yeah.
Pearsall in his 3 games has had flashes. Not really counting that one too much. Who else? I mean, I just feel like
Regardless,
there have
I think
been
it's a class that's gonna
there
pay
have
off
been
in the
guys that have
future.
made plays. Like Leggett is finally getting going in Carolina with Bryce Young back. Keon
Keon
Coleman
Coleman
has
was
made
doing
some
good as well.
plays, though he's had a
Yeah.
couple drops and separation issues still. But like he's done what we expected him to do, in his first year.
But he's a 2, right? I don't. Fortunately, I don't think he's
No, yeah, he's a
for
2.
1 in today's league. Yeah.
He's a number 2. He's a pure like X possession receiver type. That's what they drafted him for, though.
Make him run a go route and just throw it up, right?
I think Xavier Worthy would have a slightly better year if Mahomes didn't overthrow him so many times down the field. um, I
Valid.
I think that Did you see that clip though of it was one of those stupid fucking NFL Twitter pages that everybody hates but can't help but interact with. But they posted this video compilation of Xavier
I
Worthy
saw it.
not helping put Patrick Mahomes out, and like all of the throws are either out of bounds, so Worthy would have to make a ridiculous play to keep his feet in, or they're blatant
Yep.
Was it
overthrows.
sarcasm?
No, it didn't seem like sarcasm to me.
I thought no.
It
I
may
don't
have
think
been
so. No.
engagement bait, but as they usually are. But yeah, it was legit. Like, look at all the compilation of Xavier Worthy not helping Patrick Mahomes out, and it's like all these throws are really like not good throws. Like, what do you want Worthy to do? You know, he hasn't been the best receiver by any means, but he's shown flashes. He's made a couple good plays, and frankly, he would have a better year if Mahomes didn't overthrow him so many times. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
True.
Who else? But I mean, yeah, I feel like, you know, the top 3 have been kind of underwhelming. You know, Neighbors has been good too. I'm not saying, you know, he's been bad or anything, but I think the class overall has been really solid.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think it has deep talent and it will be better in the future.
Mhm.
But for how many I thought were going to be amazing,
Sure.
I'm underwhelmed.
Sure.
I
get
definitely think it's gonna be a class we look back on in the next few years and we're like, man, that class
Yeah.
was amazing.
I mean, look at the
You know what I mean?
tackles, right? Joe already like basically elite tackle. Plain and
But
simple.
it's so easy.
right?
It's so easy to tell when these elite tackles coming out of college are
Yeah.
gonna be good, right?
Yeah.
It feels like they almost never miss.
Right. J.C. Latham has been good for Tennessee. Fuaga, it looks like he's going to be a really talented player for the Saints. Fatanu has been really good for the Steelers. Zach Frazier on the interior for the Steelers looks like a
Notice how
stud.
you didn't talk about Fashanu for the Jets.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one. Super raw player though as well.
Super
I mean,
raw.
they took like they just got rid of Becton. Like, what are they doing? They're
I don't
taking.
think you draft a player like that in the situation your team is in.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You're trying to win
it was
now.
silly.
You can't develop a guy like that.
It was
You
so
can't develop
silly.
a guy like that.
You know, Dominic
it was
Cooney
so
for the 49ers.
bad because there's so many good. Yeah, you also had Anton Harrison like there for like a ready tackle that has high future potential.
Well, that was
Or
2 years ago. but
Fuaga.
Yeah, 2 years ago was Anton Harrison.
Not Anton Harrison. Fucking
Fatanu.
God damn it. Well, Fatanu, Fuaga, both those are there. but
Avarius Mims for the Bengals, who's hurt, I think.
No,
But
I'm thinking
I
of,
also think
I'm
I
thinking
also
about the
think,
Cowboys tackle right now.
Oh,
Cowboys
yes, yeah.
tackle.
Yeah, the Oklahoma, yeah. What's his name?
I can't
Fuck.
fucking think of it. He's
Why-
been really good this year.
That is so weird. We're drawing a blank. Yeah, he's been good. Jordan Morgan for the Packers has been pretty good in the chances he's gotten. Like, this is good tackle class as well, and already, you know.
Tyler Guyton.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, he's been good. The linebackers, this was supposed to be a weak class for linebackers, but so far, Peyton Wilson just made a crazy interception against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens last week. He's been really good.
Yep.
Fucking, oh, fuck. He was my number 1 entering the year. Shit. What was his
I
name?
don't know. I forgot
With
his name.
for the Packers. He's been great. The running backs have been fantastic,
Oh.
you know.
Jordan Morgan.
Oh yeah, the tackle for the Packers, but the linebacker. Fuck. He was my number 1 going
Oh.
into the year. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Edgerrin Cooper.
Yes, Edgerrin Cooper. He's been great.
Yeah,
The running backs have been fantastic in this class so far. You know, even guys like Leighton Rounds, Garendo showed flashes. Tyrone Tracy's been really, really good. Ray Davis has been a stud. You know, Trey Benson, Bucky Irving have been good in, you know, in limited roles. Like, I don't know. This class of rookies in general has been fantastic this year across the board. Corner's been great. Safety.
Quinn Mitchell. Yeah, I was just gonna.
It's crazy.
Cooper.
Yeah, it's just
Cooper's been
all
good.
around great,
Yeah.
great draft class.
It's like it's one of
And the
those. It's almost like one of those ideal situations where you're like, you know, all the players hitting is what they're supposed to do, you know, and a lot of the players are hitting. You know, there are a couple teams like the Jets that made big mistakes. Brock Bowers with the Raiders.
Yeah, but how do we not talk about Brock Bowers? He's been phenomenal this year.
I still feel bad for Michael Mayer.
No, yes, absolutely. But it is Bowers.
Yeah, but it shows that the pick was right, though, right? I mean,
This is going to be.
sometimes
Oh, yeah,
This is
BPA
the
is BPA, you know.
This is the next Travis Kelsey. Let's put it simply. I mean, I've seen enough.
Yeah, sometimes BPA is just BPA.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers is what people thought Laporta was going to be last year.
No.
No. Laporta did not have this height last year, and Laporta had a better rookie year than Bowers is right now.
Fair enough. No,
I mean,
not that.
Laporta was
not that.
fantastic, but I think you might be underrating
Did
Bowers just a
Laporta
little
not have
bit.
like? No, Bowers is the second best tight end in football right now
Mhm.
statistically, but last year Laporta was number one pretty dominantly.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that by any means. I mean, it's also like George Kittle wasn't having the year he's having at tight end either last season at this point too, you know. So Brock Bowers might be number 1 if George Kittle hasn't been as good as he is. I'm assuming you have George Kittle number
Right.
1 because I think that's the objectively correct answer right now.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I said number 2 statistically.
No, I definitely
yeah,
have
I know.
Jonnu Smith. Dog. Dog. No, actual dog.
Oh,
Can
man.
you tell me 5 tight ends better than Jonnu Smith this year?
George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride. Yeah,
I don't know
you
about
got-
McBride.
I'm at a loss for words. Oh yeah, McBride.
Dude, Jonnu has been phenomenal.
McBride still needs the ball more than he's getting it.
He does.
That's his problem.
My point still stands. Jonnu has been really good this year.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Did you see the Did you see the first touchdown against the Raiders when he threw the ball up?
No.
He caught the touchdown and it was a 4th down, first drive of the game. And he threw the ball into the stands and it lands into the hands of his son. Like his family is in
Wow.
attendance and his son catches the football. I mean, there's video evidence of it. I can tag you later if you want, but like it's unbelievable. Like, what are the odds of that shit?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty funny.
And then he had a touchdown to close out the game. And I don't know. Did you see that one or no?
I did see that one. Yeah.
What the fuck were the Raiders doing defensively? Why is he so wide open?
I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this defensive coverage? Like, this is more than just a blown coverage. Like,
No,
this
it's
is absurd.
bad. Like it's the nearest defenders on the other half of the field. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was an absurd blown coverage. Yeah.
I didn't even watch film on that one. I really want to watch film on that one later.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I also real quick want to comment on Chiefs fans talking about how the Bills celebrated and whatnot. Like,
Oh,
It's
the
hypocritical. After
like
the
the
Denver game, it's really
Broncos game
hypocritical,
didn't
yeah.
just happen. The
Yeah.
way the Broncos game just ended and the reactions that all the people had to that game, and then to immediately the next week criticize the Bills for beating an undefeated Chiefs team
yeah.
that's caused them issues for the last 5 years.
It's so
Like,
fucking
of course
silly.
they're gonna fucking celebrate.
This is literally the fucking Dodger fans that are like, why are you cheering? You guys only beat us in June. And then it's like, wow. And then Mookie Betts hits a home run the very next day and he's like fucking going crazy in the clubhouse and everyone's applauding him for it. It's like, this is the same thing. It's just the double standard of the fan base. It's so fucking stupid. Like, you are actually a fucking moron.
I mean,
if you're getting upset.
you simply have because, especially in rivalries, you just have to find something to say. Like you can't be quiet,
Right.
you know. So you find
Yeah.
whatever thing you can say just to say it. Doesn't
Right.
You don't even mean it. You're just saying it because that's that's the agenda. Like, you're just saying it. It doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. Hit it right on the head there.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Did we need to do a weekly Jay Kuda check-in?
How's he doing?
So we have the weekly AB check-in
Dude.
and the weekly J Kuda.
Yeah, I just dropped a link in the fucking group chat. Because why? Just why?
Wow,
But yeah, that Justin Jefferson one, man. What the fuck does?
that's pretty funny.
It's a picture of Justin Jefferson made from pictures of Justin Trudeau and Thomas Jefferson.
This is
What is
great.
wrong with Kudo, man?
He is just a man of immense talent. That's really the best way to describe him. NFL teams that
Yeah,
they have
Anthony.
missed a field goal attempt this season. This probably means the Lions
Oh,
will
yeah,
miss
that's
a field
very
goal at
organized.
Indianapolis this week. Oh, they're the only ones to not miss? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, any final thoughts, boys, before we close out here?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that the Warriors are the #1 seed in the West.
I saw that. Yeah, they're playing fantastic basketball. You know, the dynasty's not over. It's not over yet. How about the Cavs?
Steph Curry is
with-
better than Kevin Durant in all time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
not
don't
even
think anyone
close.
disagrees. I don't think anyone disagrees.
If there were any-
No, there are definitely people that disagree. My
Still?
they don't know.
one.
They don't know ball.
Because I felt
they don't
like
know ball.
I felt like any of the doubters could not do it anymore after the Olympic performance from Steph.
2022.
I mean,
His-
2022,
definitely his
sure,
biggest,
but the Olympic performance was easily like that is the last thing to enshrine him as the one of the goats. Like, yeah, that
yeah,
that Olympic
but
performance.
what solidifies him? What really solidifies him top, like borderline top 5, because he's right there, like top 7. That's the worst you can put him, I think, all time. Is after 2022, because before 2022, you would have a lot of people put him out of their top 10 and whatever.
Right, but 2022, he literally soloed the NBA playoffs.
He did.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
that was different.
Man, that's really surprising to me. Wow.
I mean, out of the players that I've seen with my own 2 eyes, only have LeBron over him. That's literally it.
Yeah. But even still, like, oh man, see that's even, in my opinion, an interesting conversation to have, particularly because I had MJ over LeBron anyway. But like, if you think like
to me,
part of the LeBron argument too is the sustained success over multiple decades, winning it with several organizations and whatnot, like that kind of sustained success. And like Curry's also been doing the exact same thing throughout his entire career. Now it's been with one team, and he's not a great defensive player or anything. So there are those knocks, but you're talking also about the greatest shooter of all time, like the most gifted, talented shooter of all time, and someone who literally changed how the game is played because of what he did to the sport. You know, so I think he has that argument, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I would take him.
The
But
thing for me that I know there's an argument, but to me there's no argument, because maybe saying no argument is harsh, but to me, why have LeBron over Curry is because of 2016. I think it really is his thing
sure,
when comparing the two.
sure, and that's fair as well.
It is head to head.
But then I would also think back to, well, number one, I would think about the other finals seasons where they met and Curry won. That's number one. But to compare it to the NFL, when Mahomes lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl after Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, it's like, but if Mahomes wins 9 Super Bowls, are we really going to keep Tom Brady ahead of him, you know? So that would be my counter against your argument there.
If Mahomes wins 9 Super Bowls,
that's
I will
fair.
not be a football fan.
That's fair, but I mean, like 9 Super Bowls. I mean,
Yeah, just food for thought, you know.
to me is also. I mean, to me, it really doesn't matter one or the other, because I mean, they're literally the 2 greatest players I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say
it's,
the GOAT conversation is still just Jordan and LeBron. Curry is a top 5 player, solidified though.
I mean,
And that's
literally top
that's a
5 player
fine
of all time to me as well.
yeah, that's a fine take to have. Yeah. Again, after that
I probably
Olympic
don't. I don't
performance.
have Shaq over him. I don't
Oh
have
no.
Duncan
No.
over him. I don't have Kobe over him. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely at the very least 5th for me all time.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to rank purely guys that I've seen with my own 2 eyes, it's LeBron, Curry, and then probably maybe Dirk 3. Luka and Giannis close, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking who else? Kawhi maybe, but Kawhi is a case, man.
Kawhi is one of those when you talk
Kawhi is
about
a case, man.
pure talent and
Oh wait, I
intangibles,
forgot
Kawhi
Jokic,
is
man.
up there.
Jokic.
But as far
Mhm.
as
But
consistency on the field and health and yeah, then Kawhi, he gets knocked there. But for being the physical talent that he is, yeah.
Completely forgot about Jokic. So Jokic would be 4th or 3rd on my list.
Mm-hmm.
You said Jokic should be 4th or 3rd
4th or 3rd, yeah.
already.
I mean, players that I've seen with my own 2 eyes, yeah.
I mean, already sure,
I
but
guess.
also think about
He's
the
on
resume he
his
already
way to
has.
get there.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, all time, I definitely have Jokic over Giannis and
I think if we're
Luka.
talking like pure, just insane talent, Jokic, like that guy has every. He's a 5-tool player to a T. There's nothing he can't do. But
He's definitely the most unique player I've seen. I mean,
he's
because
he's been the best player in the NBA for the last 5 years, or not 5, but 4 years.
he should have won MVP one and Embiid won it. Like
Yes, he
You
should
Yeah,
know.
he should have had 3 MVPs in a row.
well 4.
Oh, did he win last year?
Uh, he has 3 MVPs already, so I think he did.
Yeah, so yeah, he should
win
have.
last year?
He literally should have 4 consecutive MVPs.
Yep.
No, yeah, Jokic won last year. I'm thinking, but yeah, no, Jokic won last year. Then it was Embiid, Jokic. I think it was Giannis. Giannis won back
Giannis
to back, so it was Giannis.
Then Curry maybe,
I don't know who was
or
23. I don't know who was
maybe
last
Curry,
MVP
LeBron, something
Steph
like
won
that.
was 2016.
2016.
It was 2016. Yeah, so I don't know between 2016 and 2019 when Giannis won his first. I don't know who won. I think it was Russ.
I thought Russ was a little earlier too. Thought he might have been 2015. But no, Curry was back to back 2015. Yeah, Curry was back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
And then it wasn't Russ before that, because before that it was just a bunch of LeBron MVPs, and there was a Derrick Rose 2011.
Right.
Which, by the way, there's no person that talks ball that is neutral about Derrick Rose. They're either super high on Derrick Rose or they don't give a shit about Derrick Rose. Like literally, no one is neutral about Derrick Rose.
I don't understand the Derrick Rose cult. Like,
There's definitely a cult.
How do you say
There's
that?
Definitely a cult.
How can you possibly say he's one of the best players of all time? I'm sorry. Look, he might have been
It's definitely a cult.
He might have been if he kept on the career trajectory, but that's not what happened. And so I'm not playing the what if game, you know? I think those
but
people
even
are
on a trajectory, like a lot of people would have. I'm not sure if I would. Probably I would have to think about this. But if we were to project or like think about what would D Rose prime be, like let's just take 2011, right? And Russ prime, a lot of people would take prime Russ, and I'm probably taking prime Russ as well. More physically imposing, more aggressive.
Yeah, but if you
Uh,
take Russ's prime, it goes toe to toe with pretty much anyone's because the triple double season is just so fucking
I mean,
impressive, dude.
but that's what we're talking about here, right? Because the only thing Derrick Rose can talk about is his prime
Is
season.
that
Because
one
obviously,
season.
right? So I mean, if we're going to compare players, it has to be by their best seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm taking
Right.
Russ's. So Rose had one of the best MVP seasons of all time. So
Um, it's right. Yeah, it's right up there with like 2016 stuff almost.
and since we're talking about Embiid, I'll just make a commentary on Embiid. Embiid is the absolute worst superstar to have on your team, bro. That guy is like so
I hate that dude.
like his body language, bro. He's so slump. Like I don't know.
No, it's just his language,
I,
like him talking. Dude
I
is a
mean,
dick.
I mean, clearly, you saw that Maxi called him out in the locker room.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, Maxi, like there was a
Yeah,
report by
last week.
Shams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maxi would called Embiid out for always being late to shit and how it impacts.
Actually, known positive person, like really happy guy,
Yeah,
and
but he's
that's
also a
the guy
leader,
who's calling you
and
out. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah, you know, and I mean that 76ers team been frauds for years now, right? I mean, even when they brought in Paul George, you know, I told my dad like they're not going to do shit. Obviously, they can because
It's been a
such a talented
decade
team.
running of fraudship. Damn
But I
near.
mean, look what's going on this year. Like, fucking, um, dude, how did I just forget Jeremy? What's their rookie's name? Jeremy McCain. He's their best player, and they have Maxi, Paul George, and Embiid. Like, it's atrocious what's going on over there in Philly. But I really don't feel bad for them, honestly, especially for Embiid. What he said, we even talked about in the pod here the other day. A reporter asked him if he ever takes games off for rest,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, I think it's really disgusting to think about after all I've done for the city, brother. You have done absolutely nothing for that city, brother.
Nothing for the city. You've
You,
lost in the playoffs every time you've gone.
brother, you haven't even gone to the Eastern Conference Finals, dog. And it was supposed to be either you, the Heat, or the Celtics. It's in for like 5 years in
Every
a row.
year.
For like
Yeah.
5 years in a row, it was like this: either you, Celtics, or Heat. And it was never you, dog. Never you.
Oh, don't forget about the Bucks.
Sorry, I forgot. I definitely forgot about the Bucks. I apologize. But you know, out of 4 teams in 5+ years, you're the 4 teams, and you've been clearly the worst of them, like very, very clearly. And then you go in all after all I've done for the city, brother. You won a
Hey, you
make a
won the wild card round.
you won a Make a Wish MVP after voter fatigue for Jokic. Okay, like,
And racism.
please, bro.
No, it wasn't even voter fatigue. It was straight racism, dude. It was fucking who's the dumbass ESPN
Oh,
guy?
I forgot about that.
On first take,
Yeah.
yeah, that whole first take controversy with JJ Redick on the other side, that was
Yeah.
really funny. When it happened. Yeah.
Just so bad. But
That
ready to wrap
indeed.
up.
Yeah.
But it's also maybe I'm biased because I'm a big Jokic guy and I don't like Embiid. Who knows?
Oh, I mean, we're both. I think all of us are.
I mean, I don't really
Embiid haters and Jokic guys.
I don't really have an opinion on Embiid. You know, I don't like it when players take games off and everything. That's obviously bad. I hate the load management culture, but you know, otherwise I don't have a problem with
That's
him.
another big problem with the NBA. Another big problem with the NBA.
Yep.
We were talking about officiating and half the teams making the playoffs. Yeah, there's another issue right there.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this has been a fantastic evening with you boys as always. Thank you guys so much for you know, sticking to it every week. Yeah. Thank you guys for the chat.
Much appreciated. Had a
Go
great
to
time.
boys.
All right. Thank you all for watching. This has been Coast to Coast.